So the next,
Hi, this is Matthew Robert Payne, and this is part 2 of our interview with Queen Elizabeth. If you haven't watched part 1, I'd suggest you go back to part 1 on my YouTube channel and search for recent videos and find part 1 with the same title as this, but it says part 1, not part 2. This is part 2, and this is an interview with a saint from heaven, and we're allowed to be seated in heavenly places. So it's just a matter of being spiritually sensitive and opening your eyes in heaven and receiving two-way conversation from heaven. And so this is part 2. We've covered 10 questions, and we're going to cover 10 questions in this one, from question 11 to question 21. I'll let Tulu ask question 11.
thank you, Matthew, and welcome, Queen, once again. So the first question is, what is your relationship with Princess Diana like now?
When I first arrived in heaven, the relationship between Princess Diana and me was remarkably good, because Princess Diana had been in heaven for a while, and she'd been watching Earth, and she'd gone through the stage of forgiving me for the tension that existed between us, and she come to understand me better, because she'd been shown my life on video, and she'd been shown my future, and she knew I was coming to heaven soon to meet her. So over the last years that she's been dead, she's been preparing to meet me. So when I got to heaven, she hugged me, and it was like there was no tension, and the forgiveness had to happen from me, and it took a while, but we restored our friendship, and now she's teaching in schools. She's a teacher. She also has a design label, and she designs outfits for women, and she also assists June and me doing official functions. So she operates like a princess, like she was called to do. And when June assumes the role that I'm doing, Princess Diana will be put second in charge. So it's like she's a member of the royal family. She goes to dinner each week, or every time. Most nights we go for dinner. The 20 people stop for dinner at June's house, and so I see her every night for dinner, and it's a great thing. Sometimes we've got a function on, and we're at functions, but many times we're at dinner at June's place. Diana has really advanced in heaven, and she's got some good tutors in heaven, and she's really become really beautiful. She really looks good. She's got a great figure, and she really dresses nice. I've got a number of her dresses and outfits that she's designed. She's turned into quite a fashion designer. Her label is really popular in heaven. I've seen her teaching. I've been in a classroom when she's been teaching English to students, and all her children love her a lot. She's very good friends with Michael Jackson, and Michael Jackson has got a theme park at his house for children that he teaches, and Princess Diana brings her children from her classes to his house, and they play in the theme parks, and her and Michael spend time together. So she's really traveling well, where she's just like a daughter to me. It's a real shame to see Charles become king and Diana not being the queen, because she'd make a worthy queen. I'm not sure how long June is going to do the central role that I'm doing, but Princess Diana is next in line. So when June moves on, Princess Diana will be operating like the Queen of Heaven. So she's patiently waiting, and she's not selfish, or she's not demanding her own way. She's got a whole lot more compliant and a whole lot more humble and graceful, and she just cares. She's a great listener. She's great at asking questions, and she's very peaceful and joyful, and she's really funny. And there's no tension of the world watching us, or there's no pressure. She hasn't got media pressure. There's a media in heaven, but she's in the papers and the magazines, and she's popular in heaven, but they don't storm her and gate crash her and harass her like they did on earth. So she's very relaxed and happy, and I'm very happy with her. She's like a daughter to me. I'm very happy.
Oh, that's beautiful. God works in mysterious ways, isn't it, Queen? I've watched a lot of the story about Crown, Princess Diana, and yourself. And I knew you loved Princess Diana, and you wanted it to work between her and your son, but there was nothing you could do. You tried your best, and it was out of your hands, and you just had to agree with how everything went. But I'm glad that you've got good relationship between you two now. It's really beautiful to hear. So my next question is, do you still keep track of events on Heart and know what is happening day to day?
Yeah, so we've got television screens. You can say like big screen TVs in our houses at heaven, and we watch the news on earth from time to time, and we're able to appear in our loved ones' houses and watch them and look over them, and you'll know from mainly from people who don't attend church will talk about their relatives looking over them, and can feel their relative with them. Sadly, many Christians think that's necromancy and don't think that is possible. But many people who don't attend church are in contact with their relatives, and their relatives give them signs, and they get a sense that the relative is looking over them. And I look over Charles, and I look over my children, Margaret and Andrew, and I also look over Harry and William, and I also watch the state of affairs. I'm saddened by the war in Israel and the war in Ukraine. We're eagerly looking at the election process in America. So I'm kept up to date with current events on Earth.
Thank you, Queen. And were you happy when you saw Prince Philip when you got to heaven?
So it was a great reunion. Philip was so happy to meet me. He was so overjoyed. He'd missed me, and I'd missed him, and it was a joyous celebration. We actually met and had Philip's welcoming party in June's house, and
Oh,
we his party went for a few days, and we used to have dinner during the days at the dinner table, and he started to come around each night, or the nights that I wasn't working, to have dinner at June's place, and he's a regular guest there. So it was so wonderful to have him arrive in heaven, and he was so overjoyed, and I was happy to have him.
Oh, I could imagine. I'm glad you were able to reunite yourself together. That's beautiful to look forward to. And my next question is, are you and Prince Philip a couple in heaven?
So this is controversial. This would be controversial with Christians listening to this video, or Christians reading this book. There was a part in Scripture where a whole lot of people were married to the one man. This woman married the 6 or 7 sons of a person, which was the Jewish law, that if the eldest brother had a wife, the younger brother had to marry her to keep it, her finances or whatever, to obey the law. And someone asked Jesus who would become the husband in heaven if she'd been with 6 or 7 husbands, and Jesus said there is no one taken in marriage in heaven. And so people believe that they can be married for 50 years on earth and go to heaven and not be married, and they'll just be friends. And it's a misunderstanding of that verse. A married couple that have been together all their life, when they die, and if they both make it to heaven, then they're a married couple in heaven. And I'll just say, without being a prude, in the realm of being honest, we're a married couple in every sense of the word.
That's a good way of expressing a queen. You don't need to go into the detail. You leave the detail to us to imagine. So I love the way you answer that question. So, and the next question is, what are your thoughts on Kate and William?
Wait a sec. The Wait a sec.
Don't worry, take your time.
Something playing up. So what's the question? Wasn't the next question?
It was the next question. So what are your thoughts on Kate and William? Oh,
Wasn't
sorry. Oh, sorry. What does Prince Philip do in heaven? Sorry, I skipped one there.
So Prince William is mainly studying in
Prince
heaven.
Philip.
Prince Philip is mainly studying in heaven. He's doing further studies. He's doing a theological degree, and he's got a lot of theological teachers as friends. And you can smoke cigars in heaven, which was surprising to Toulouse. And he smokes a lot of cigars in cigar lounges, and talks theology and philosophy and different advanced sort of subjects in heaven. And he's really enjoying himself. He hasn't began to hasn't he hasn't began to work or do anything hasn't began. Matthew's having trouble. Hasn't began to start a job or do anything constructive for heaven. Besides studying it, it's considered a job or an occupation in heaven if you're studying full time. So he's getting a theological degree, and he actually consults on a podcast in heaven with Toulouse Sun, and he does that for a little bit of work. But he really enjoys himself, and he's really enjoying himself. Matthew's computer is playing up, and
Okay.
he may need to restart it to make it work. But we can finish this interview.
Yeah, because I can hear you. What is the problem? You can't access the questions? Is that the key
Yeah,
problem?
yeah.
Don't worry. So far, I will read it back to you. So don't worry. We're almost done anyway. Okay, thank you, Queen, for that response. I think I've been a bit distracted as well. So I'll go to the next question, which is, what are your thoughts on Kate and William?
So I really love Kate. It's a sad that she's been diagnosed with an illness. William is really the obedient son. He's not the rebellious son like Harry, but William's doing really well, and Kate is a lovely wife, and she's provided good heirs for the throne. William will have a reign, and then his oldest son will have a reign, and I'm very happy with them. As a grandmother, I look over their life. I look out for their life and enjoy what they're up to. I enjoy watching my great grandchildren grow up, and I'm very happy with their lifestyle and what's going on with their life. You may assume when people go to heaven, when people die, that they're unaware of people on earth, and there's even teachers that teach on heaven that say that people can go to a certain place in heaven and look over a portal and look at events that happen in people's lives, like birthdays and Christmas and stuff, and everyone can gather over this portal and watch their lives. Matthew seems to have a better understanding that they can watch their children on the TV at their home, and they can enter into the TV and go through a portal to their children's homes or their loved ones' homes. And it's true that a lot of people who don't attend church will say that they felt their father in the room this morning, or they seen a butterfly and they sense it was their uncle, and so that is possible. I'm often on earth visiting my loved ones, and so I'm very happy to report that to you. And you can also tune in on your TV and watch your loved ones on certain events. And we've got something like YouTube in heaven that you can watch, or you can have a TV station, and it just you can have like a diary that tells you when your child is going to be doing a certain thing, or your grandkid's going to be doing a certain thing, and you can tune in and watch them. So if one of my grandchildren was going to a certain event, or my great grandchildren was having a performance at her school or whatever, I'm able to watch on TV and watch the performance.
Oh, that's beautiful that that could happen, because I remember my daughter telling me last week, my middle daughter, she wanted me to come and watch a hockey game. And I told her that I won't be able to because I'm working and your sister is playing at the same time. I can't divide myself into two. So I told them, but don't worry, your dad will be watching you. Just imagine daddy is there clapping for you. So it's good to know that it's possible for people in heaven to be able to watch all of this event. But because they can see, we can see you guys, it's sometimes difficult to believe. Well, I believe if you say it happens, I believe it does happen. There's so many things that you say from the dinner table conversation that I'm always asking myself, can that be true? Like, for instance, Prince Philip's smoking, cigar, well, like in heaven, but it's good to know that heaven is a relaxed environment. It's not what we think it is, that is very rigid, very religious, but it's more relaxed, happy place that people can live their destiny without not having stress or burden of this modern world. So thank you, Queen. My next question is,
A person who's got a big reputation for going to heaven too. I'm not going to mention her name, but she says that the alcohol in heaven is different alcohol, and it's not alcoholic. It's like a heaven sort of brand of alcohol. And I want to share with you that the alcohol in heaven is real alcohol, and
wow.
if you drank to excess in heaven, you wouldn't get drunk, but you can still feel the alcohol's effect. And you can be tipsy in heaven, but no one's an alcoholic in heaven. I just want to share that, there's certain things that that woman has said that aren't true. And I don't want to discredit her by name, but I want to assure you that if you like having a cigar or you like having a port or a glass of wine, you can certainly have that in heaven. And you can have a glass of wine with your husband and then go into the marital bed and finish your night in bed. Um, and There's a lot of mistruth and misunderstanding about heaven.
Thank you, Queen. I just wanted to be sure that no one has been tipsy yet on the dinner table for the conversations we've been having. Are there alcohol present in those conversations as well?
What's that?
I said no one has ever been tipsy,
No,
drunk.
no.
Okay, that's good to know. Thank you. So my next question is, what are your thoughts about Harry and Meghan as well?
Well, Harry is a little bit of a rebel, like Diana was a rebel, and he's got those genes and a certain. I've forgiven Harry and Meghan, especially Meghan, for saying that there was people in the royal family that had asked what color their baby will be, and it was like a racist slur. It was a slur that we were racist, and I've forgiven that, and I'm happy. The world is divided on Meghan and Harry. Half the world don't like them, and half the world do like them. They're a bit like Donald Trump. People either love or hate him, and but I love Meghan because she loves our Harry, and even though the crown and the monarchy isn't for Harry and he's decided not to walk with the royal family, I can understand that he wants his own life outside of royalty. And so I respect that, and I watch their children, and I watch Meghan and Harry, and I pray for them that they'll be able to make a worthwhile life outside of the monarchy. Meghan, I find, is very pretty and tasteful in the way she dresses, and Harry is just like my favorite grandson.
Oh, that's beautiful to hear. And that's not changed. He knew he was your favorite grandson, Queen. And that never changed throughout, even when Ari was doing whatever he feels like. You still loved him. And by the way, I love Megan. And well, maybe because there's a sense of a rebel in me as well. So for some reason, I always like the people that can stand for themselves and say it as it is. So I like that she's not hypocritical. She's just who she is, and she's not going to bend for anyone. I know it could be very hard for people to accept that, but you said something beautiful there, that she loves Harry. And that's the most important thing, that they are in a loving relationship. We, the outsiders, must see it in a different way. So thank you, Queen. I really love what you said there. What are your views on King Charles and Camilla?
Uh, I uh, I really love Charles. Camilla may have been someone that he's having an adulterous affair with, and I didn't really support their remarriage. I was always brokenhearted that that Charles and Diana split, and they had troubles in their marriage, but. Um, I know Charles loves Camilla, and I've heard their conversations. I've been with them when they've been private, and he does dearly love her. And so I wish Charles well. He doesn't seem to be popular in the monarchy. People don't popularly love him like they love me. Perhaps I cast a very long shadow, and he's finding it hard to come out from behind the shadow. Um, yeah, so I dearly love him, and I'll always have my emotional support behind him.
Oh, thank you, Queen. I understand it's so difficult for somebody else to follow you, whoever that person could have been, because you really, really reigned for so long and you did it so well. It's like you were just made for being a queen. So for your son, Charles, to be able to do any better than what you've done, it will really be difficult. And he's already much older as well by the time he was able to be a king, but you will still be able to do something great, hopefully, with the support of British people. I wanted to ask that I know that you really, really love Andrew. How do you feel about Andrew now watching from heaven?
I love Andrew, but I was a bit saddened with his sexual allegations and his sins. But we serve a God that forgives sins, and if people turn from their sins and their bad ways, they can be forgiven. Um, Matthew doesn't know a lot about Andrew, but I love him and want the very best from him, and hope that his life works out for him.
Thank you, Queen. And who do you hope becomes the next president of the United States?
So Heaven is gearing up to hope that Donald gets in. Of course, when he got in 2016, it's what Heaven wanted, and he didn't. Matthew sort of felt, and he heard another prophet say that the reason Donald didn't get in 2020 is the Christian church in America had made him into an idol, and
Mm.
God didn't want to support an idol. Um, so Matthew believes there's merit in that, and hopefully the Christian church have stopped their idolatry of Donald Trump. I know that heaven would be a lot happier for the United States if Donald was able to get in. It's been a tragedy with the last 4 years. But if you're a progressive, if you're a liberal in America, just know that it's not the government that we really support. We support people that are godly and are making godly decisions. And it's just that the Democrat Party at the moment are just too susceptible to evil.
Mm. Thank you, Queen. I guess why is God so interested in USA, but in particular?
In ways.
Why is God so interested in what happens in America?
Because America is like the leading country in the world, and what happens in America sort of affects nearly every country in the world. And I know, Matthew knows that Australia sort of takes a lead from America, and many countries march to the beat of America, and America is like was founded to be a light on a hill, like Jesus' speech in Matthew 7, meant to be a light on a hill that won't go out. So America started really great as a Christian nation, and God would prefer America doesn't become Mystery Babylon mentioned in Revelation.
Thank you, Queen. And are you involved in earthly affairs from heaven?
Sometimes I sit on councils that have got prophets from earth and prophets in heaven deciding judicial sort of decisions on earth, and I'm invited into those meetings from time to time to give my counsel. So some of the things happening on earth, some of the decisions being made on earth, I'm having input into them.
Thank you, Queen. And what message would you like to share with your followers on earth? Because you are a well-loved Queen, so a lot of people do miss you. So what message would you like to give them?
I'd just like to share that heaven is available. It's a place that you can go to, and I'd encourage people to read Matthew's books and understand the Christian faith. If you haven't been involved in the Christian faith, Matthew's got 6 books where Michael Jackson is interviewed, and 2 books where Princess Diana is interviewed, and he's got other books that may be of interest to you, and um, and Matthew's computer's playing up. So I encourage you to find a book or 2 of Matthew's, and you want to learn more about the Christian faith, search Matthew Robert Payne on Amazon.
Thank you, Matthew. You look really distracted, Matthew.
Yeah, my computer is totally playing up. It just the other side, the enemy side doesn't really like this interview. So if you could close the video down.
Oh, you can close it down. Okay,
No, I
say you're
can't.
closing.
I can't
Say,
come into the video. My
okay,
computer's completely playing up. So can you close off the video? Can you leave close the meeting?
yeah, do you want to say what you usually say to close it so that we just don't close it abruptly?
No, it's fine.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I'll close it here.
Right.
Where do I close it? Okay.